Hi there, I'm Chef Lauren Smith, and this is Conscious Culinary, where we show you how to cook with ingredients that really support health and wellness. And today we're featuring a quick little appetizer that's perfect for any kind of Mother's Day gathering that's coming up. It's a really beautiful 4-bean hummus with some fresh herbs, and on top of that, we're gonna do a little Parmesan cracker with some golden flax. Now we're doing this food so it can support really excellent bone health. All of the ingredients that we're using are super rich in calcium, which of course will help prevent things like osteoporosis and keep your bones really nice and strong. Very important with women as well. So it's a very simple recipe, and it's also impressive and healthy. So I really think you guys should try this one out. So we're gonna start this recipe out by making our crackers first. You wanna have your oven on about 350 degrees and have a nice big sheet pan like this one here. Now this is a restaurant size one, so you can just use a normal cookie pan, but you wanna line it with tin foil or parchment paper or maybe even a silpat, because the important thing is here, you don't want the Parmesan to stick and grab and get stuck, right? So I'm just gonna use tin foil. And how I'm gonna get started is by using about 1.5 cups worth of really nice quality Parmigiano Reggiano. So it's been aged at least 15 years, and this process with this hard cheese makes it one of the highest in calcium cheeses available. So I've just done a little chopped julienne. You could put it on a microplaner or on the finest side of your grater to get a nice little grate out of it. But all we really want is just a little stack, like so, right? And we're just gonna kinda keep going. And if you make the matchstick sizes, you kinda wanna zigzag. They don't have to be big. You can make them whatever size you want, but remember there's gonna be a melt factor here. Actually, I'll do a row of 3, how about that? So just like that, and they'll end up being about the size of a big silver dollar. All right, and then the next thing is just to add a little bit of sprinkle of golden flax. Now, flax seeds are extremely awesome for any kind of bone support. They really pack a lot of punch in these tiny little seeds. They have a lot of really wonderful medicinal properties. And the golden have this really nice flavor. It has a little bit of that less bitter flavor than the typical brown flax. And they look cute too. And this is just such an excellent way to incorporate more calcium and fiber. And by the way, there's no kind of gluten or anything of the sort in these. That's about good. And when they come out of the oven, we can sprinkle them with a fresh coat as well. Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna do, just to add some color and a little bit of herbiness, is some fresh chopped chive. Now you don't have to do this. You know, it just looks really good, and fresh herbs are actually another great source of those micronutrients. So these are gonna go straight into my 350 degree oven. We're gonna give them about 10 to 12 minutes. We're looking for this golden brown bubbly edge on the outside. Then you know they're done. We'll take them out and let them cool. So we're gonna get started on this hummus. And you just wanna use a blender or a food processor, whatever you have at home that'll work for you. And we're gonna start with 3 cans of organic beans. I did a brown lentil, because it's really high in protein, a garbanzo bean, which is the classic bean for a hummus, and a white cannellini bean, which is basically a white bean. It's very creamy and buttery. Now, it's really great to get a mixture of these beans because they're, again, an excellent source of calcium in that fight for improving bone health and strength. So if there's any of these beans that you don't like, just replace them with another type of bean that you like. So they go right on into my blender. Just help them out a little bit. And then the next thing we're gonna add into that is the juice of 1 lemon, and that's gonna be our liquid base. And we'll add olive oil as we go to thin it out or thicken it, whatever we need. And what's really kind of the refreshing and kind of healthy part to this hummus is a mixture of herbs. I have fresh basil, fresh tarragon, and fresh thyme. Those all have a little bit of a licoricey fresh property that'll really make this a bright, beautiful hummus. And then I'm just gonna touch it with a little bit of sea salt, because these beans were unsalted, and a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna start out with about 2 tablespoons worth of olive oil. And if it's too thick, don't worry, we can always add more oil. It's about 1, and about 2. So the last thing I have to add before we blend this is some fresh shallot. Now normally you would use a couple cloves of garlic for hummus, but I find that shallot has a much more interesting flavor. It's kind of like if red onion and garlic had a baby. It's really a beautiful thing. So I just roughly chopped up 1 shallot, and that's gonna go right on into this mix. And that'll get blended in and be really beautiful. So I'll take this over to the blender with my olive oil so we can get this nice and creamy and smooth. Basically with a blender like this, I need to stop and stir it a couple times and then crank it up on high speed so it goes really fast and velvety smooth. I'm just gonna transfer it to a little bowl and show you how it kind of comes out. And it should be nice and creamy and thick and basically perfect to dip chips or vegetables, in our case Parmesan crackers, right into. So I'll save this little bowl and put it to the side while we finish our crackers. So this is what they look like coming straight out of the oven. Remember that golden brown bubbliness I was talking about on the outside? That's exactly what we want. So I'm just gonna transfer it to a wire rack, just carefully sliding my tin foil over. And I'm gonna let these hang out for about 10 minutes to get nice and cool. And we'll put this all together and show you how it looks. Okay, so this is it. Our crackers are all nice and plattered up after they've cooled off. I'm just gonna add to my little platter here our little hummus, and I just stuck a couple crackers in so you can see them and it's visually appealing. I really kind of challenge you to try this one because it's not that difficult and it's absolutely delicious, and it's a recipe that is awesome to have in your culinary arsenal. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know I did, and I'm dying to eat these. So we'll see you next time on Conscious Culinary.